Hello, welcome to Producer Profile, and my name is Orville Nelson. I'm your co-host, and the co-host I'm sharing this with is Stella Winston, and the producer we are profiling today is Tony Bascom, and his show is called Crossroads. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Tony
you.
Bascom. All right. First up, I wanted to ask you, the name of the show is Crossroads,
Right.
and does it have a religious implication to it?
Well, I hate to use the word religious. What it is, basically, my mother has a church named Christian Crossroads, and we derived that name. I used the name Crossroads from there, and also from my personal and philosophical aspect, because, everybody, I believe, has something to offer, and the case being that nobody has a piece to one puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So you may know how to work a radio, I may know how to work the pieces to fix the radio, and if we come together, we can make a great sound. And everything is all working together. And if the person doesn't know how to do anything, he may be a good announcer. You know what I mean? So it's all coming together, and on this crossroads, people come up with so much great ideas and pass it along, and there's so much. It's like the idea of networking, that people have so much to offer, that I believe that the whole world is like a crossroad. We meet and give each other ideas, and everybody goes a long path, and it's up to you to what you take to make what out of it.
So the name Crossroads implies so many different things.
Yes, it
and
does.
part of it is religious, but many other things.
Many other things, yes.
Okay. Stella, do you have a question for this?
Well, I want to know about the shows you've done so far. When does the show come on? Is it a weekly? Is it a special? Is it a monthly?
Well, first off, we've been doing specials. We're planning to go to a monthly next month. We have been working on 3 shows. We'll practically have a show coming up next week, and it's very what you call inspiring to me, because in the way I got started in the idea, I came up for these shows and how to do it, because basically, it was so, I didn't know what to do. I was going every which way for a show, and I remember this lady that was from Trinidad, and we happened to know her, and she used to go to the mother's church. She used to live in an abandoned building with 2 kids, and she survived the winter like that.
The winter.
With her 2 children.
With her 2 children. And,
Wow.
She had 2 very nice kids. And you looking at these kids, you would never knew that they was living in an abandoned building. And I thought that it was like, so, I was distraught, but I was so amazed at how she handled the situation. And, she never looked down the whole time she was doing that. I went to the service, though, after, and I lost contact with her. But it's people like them who inspired me to come up with the concept for the show. And I feel that there's a message for other people out there, because I feel there's a lot of people out there hurting and needs help and is looking for somebody to encourage them to get to that next level.
So you see your show as a service or as a way of showcasing people's stories, their individual struggle in day-to-day living? Is that one purpose of your show?
Yeah, it's basically, it's not only inspiring, but it's empowering people to move out of the struggle, the position that they're in, the negative energy that they're in, and move up into a more positive aspect of their life. To try to build itself out from, people use the word the slump or whatever, word that they can, to get to that next level, to inspire other people to get to that level. It's like to me, it's like a disease or like an after effect. If you can get one person to do this and move up, you can get another person to move it, because what works, what you did, and could encourage another person to do something else better. So it's like an after effect.
Each one help one, each one teach one.
Yes, yes. And it all starts at the lower level. It can't start up. You got to start with the people that you know that can do it. That's, oh, this guy was right here with me, and look at what he did. So that if you see he can do it, you can do it.
This particular woman that lived in the abandoned building, did you have her on your show?
No, like I said, when I went into service, I've lost contact with a lot of those people.
Well, that really touched me. When
Yeah.
you said that, that really moved
Yeah.
me. So it's people like this you'll have on your show.
Yes.
So who have you had on your show recently?
Well, I've had Vielka Richards. I've had
And who is Vielka Richards?
Vielka Richards. She is another story. She was living on drugs, and she was the abused housewife also. And you know, she is, you know, went through a lot of these struggles and maintained her family with 4 kids through a drug problem. I don't know how she did it, but you know, she did it. And the other person I have, she's now a co-pastor. She had hot meal thrown in her face.
Hot oatmeal.
Hot oatmeal?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
The first show you did, what
that
show?
is the first show. With the 2 ladies that had, well, it's 3 ladies, and the other lady, she had cancer, and she was about on the verge of dying.
So it seems from what you're saying, you're having guests that are directly coming from the community
Yes.
and from all walks of life,
Yes.
struggling,
Yes.
and you want to portray them to show people that people are going through these things
Right.
and they're overcoming.
That's exactly the word. They're overcoming their indifferences, and that's what I feel is important. People overcoming to do better, you know. And it's all about you helping me and I helping you.
So we have a B-roll of your first show, right?
Yes.
And could you set it up for us, please?
Okay. In this role right here, we have the lady I just mentioned, Vielka Richards. She's talking about her drug abuse and her abusive husband, how she supported her kids, and how her baby was about to have Down syndrome if she didn't change her life. And the next one is the lady that had she had an abusive husband, and she was on drugs.
And that's the clip we're going to see now. Which clip
Yes,
are we going to?
we're going to see that clip now with the 2 ladies that's been abused by their husbands and
Yes, I would
drugs,
like to say
and how they have
that,
overcome this. Right.
Okay.
God is good. God
I
is
guess
good
so.
all the
Yeah.
time. God is good. He has saved me from crack addiction. He healed my baby. I forgot to say during the pregnancy I was going to psychiatrist meeting. That didn't help. So I turned my footstep around toward the testimony of the Lord. And I am here to tell it. To tell it. The word says we shall overcome by our testimony. And that's what I'm doing, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of women out there that need to hear it. I'm quite sure there's a lot of women that in this same abusive relationship, they taking crack pregnant, and there's a reason for everything. So I am here to tell you that that is not the way. That is not the way. Jesus is the way. In the name of Jesus.
And co-pastor.
Yes, I just want the world to know that how Jesus Christ, he delivered me from being abused to be used by him. God did not create man to undergo abuse indefinitely, for it'll break your spirit.
Okay, that's very good.
Because the Lord has delivered me from the road of destruction and put my feet on the road of construction.
Amen. Amen. Well, I too would like to add that, you know, in spite of all that has happened in my past, I'm looking forward to what is going on, not only in the lives of these people, but in my own.
Well, while they take care of that.
Yeah.
Now, that you had the set, I found it very effective. You did a round table,
Right.
and you're able to face each other.
Right.
What do you get out of it personally when you are able to sit these people down in front of? Is your show primarily going to have more than one guest at a time, or is it just you're going to sometimes go with the same setup of 1 or 2 guests?
Okay. Each depends on the content of the show and what the person actually has to say, and what is most effective at the time. I can't really say that I'll go with the same setup at every time, because not every situation you can handle the same way. Okay, in that setup, I felt that it was important for those ladies to have a more of a gathering and a meeting type. I wanted a home type of environment, because then I wanted the people to know that, well, hey, this is what's happening around them. And if it's happening around them and they change their lives, it can also be the same for them.
Did these individuals all know each other, or
Oh,
this was
yes,
the first time?
yes, they all know each other.
Is that from your mother's church?
Yeah, this is my mother's church.
Do you mind mentioning where the church is? Or
Oh,
is that
no, it's
something-
at 627 Wilson Avenue between Cooper and Decatur.
And what's the name of
It's
it?
Christian Crossroads.
Christian Crossroads.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your host, what was your host's name?
Neil Walker. Yeah, he's actually an aerobics instructor.
Okay.
Would you believe it? And he actually was a person that was selling drugs and abusing drugs also. He doesn't even look like it now, right? Guys, you know, it's amazing to see these people and, you know, see that they come back from all this. And personally, I never took drugs. I never seen the need to take drugs. But to see, like, you know, I've always envisioned it, right? Because my mother always painted a picture that those people who take drugs, don't talk to them, don't mess with them. And, you know, when I was small, you know, I really did. I had this, because in my days, it was prevalent that people used to smoke marijuana, right? So my mother told me, whoever smoked marijuana is crazy. So when I come out of school and I see somebody smoking marijuana, I run. I was actually scared. I was terrified, because she told me that these people are bad.
Your mother was effective.
So no, I come out of school and I'm running, because I'm like, Jesus, the guy smoking marijuana. I look at it, the guy smoking marijuana. You smell it, and I run.
Well, it's good that we could laugh here, because life is both, you know, it has both to it. It has everything to it.
Right.
So it's nice that we're laughing here. Now, in terms of, I heard, didn't we hear him say something about Spanish? He's able to do the show
Yeah.
in
Now
Spanish?
you have a show in Spanish. Is it the same show,
Yes,
or do you
it's
do
the
a
same.
different show?
It's the same show.
Well, excuse me. That show that we just saw here,
Yes.
how did it end up in Spanish?
No, okay. Okay, what happened, it's the same show, as far as it's under the same title, it's the same people. What happened is, we have a Latin community in our church, right? You know, I'm from Panama, right? So we trying to reach everybody, okay? It's not just set to one thing. Like I said, it's a crossroads, right? So my other avenue approach, being that I deal with the Latin community so much and the Panamanian community so much, right? I would like to reach them also. And there's a lot of people that I know from there that they only speak Spanish and they only can relate, you know, to speaking Spanish, right? So I figured that they can also see the effects in their community too, that these changes can occur, especially with the people that they know from the same, that come from the same
What I'm
neighborhood.
curious is, how do you execute
Yeah.
getting it in Spanish?
So when you come into the studio, do you have one show do you do one show in English, then a second show?
Please tell us.
We want to know.
No. What I do is one day, we set it up, everything, you know, you have to do your pre-production, okay. One show that I have, like, a lot of artists that come, I have a lot of artists that come that speak Spanish. What I do is, for that particular day, I have another host, right, her name is Sandra Johnson, and she speaks Spanish very eloquently. And so I have her on that particular day for the show. So what they would say in English, the same thing, what they say it in English, I have her saying it in Spanish. And that's the only thing. So in case now we have English people watching it and Spanish people watching, so we do what we call a Spanish and English show. And a lot of people call it Spanglish.
So you have not the same guests, different guests for
Different
the
guests,
for
different
the
guests,
Spanish
yeah.
show. Okay,
Different
we're
guests.
clear. I think I'm clear.
All right.
It's a good
Okay.
idea. It's a very
Yeah.
good idea.
Now we have a second B-roll coming
Right.
up. Now, what was this show about?
This is about a good friend of mine. His name is Carlito Soul. He's an international singer in Panama, right? And he was, he hit fame. He had a song when I was over there, living over there, called Commando, and we all jumping into the song. But then he ended up abusing drugs and all this stuff, and he came back, and his mother was a bishop of a church. And he changed his life. You know, he was always in and out the church. I mean, he made it positive that he lost his foot.
Wow.
And
How did he do that?
well, he had cancer in the knee, and I guess not enough blood was flowing. So what happened was they had to cut the knee, and they had a concert for him. And this guy named Rookie, and I'm not sure who the other people were, but they raised $17,000 for him.
So they amputated below the knee.
Amputated below the knee.
Okay. And that's the clip that's coming
Yeah.
up.
So
That's
this
coming
was a man that was once very successful, only
Oh
to,
yeah,
to
he
come
still
down
is
the-
successful. He's singing in the church.
Okay.
He got a nice couple of good songs. You know, these people, they never stop. They just do
Yeah,
it
you put that.
in
He's
different
still
ways.
successful.
Yes,
He's singing in the church.
he's
right?
singing it in the
Successful,
church.
yeah.
Is he
Very
part
good.
of your church, Crossroads?
No,
What's this?
he's singing at Manual Church of God.
Okay.
All right.
And I guess we'll see it very soon.
Yes.
Nuevamente estamos con ustedes. Tú no vales la pena. Carlito, dime de qué se trata todo esto. De que tú no vales la pena. Y espérate, cuéntame estos ganchos y todas estas cosas en la barbilla y el significado de estos colores. Dime a qué se debe todo esto.
O sea, Sandra, que el diablo tiene la facilidad de hacer cosas increíbles también, ¿entiendes? Cuando yo dije tú no vale la pena, significa que en el pueblo latino, especialmente los hombres latinos, cada vez que hay un problema de inmoralidad en el matrimonio, ellos recurren al machete y al revólver a matar.
Okay, Tony, so that was done in Spanish, and
Yeah.
it's effective. I don't know Spanish myself, but
Yeah.
I'm glad it's there.
Yeah,
Very glad it's
that's
there.
an excellent service to the Spanish-speaking community here in Brooklyn. Now, do you want to say anything about it, Tony?
Well, okay. Number one, first of all, the Spanish. We did it also. She speaks a little English in it, you know, and so that it don't lose to all of the audience. You try to get everybody, you know, you try to please everybody you can, and try to reach everybody you can, because my ethical goal in life is to help everybody I could help. You
So
know?
the Spanish show you're saying is a little bilingual?
It's a little, yeah, it's a little bit. As you seen when Carlos was speaking in there, I tell you, we speak that, Panamanians always speak that Spanglish.
Spanglish.
We'll talk like 2 words in Spanish and then go to English, you know? And like you said, when he said no vale la pena, and he said this and that, you know, he came back and he started speaking English, and then he remembered and he started speaking Spanish. We always do that. That's just a habit that all Panamanians.
What has been the response by the Spanish-speaking Panamanian community to your special? Have you gotten feedback?
Oh yeah, they loved it, especially Carlito Sole. Everybody likes him, so they loved the show and they liked the little excerpts that we did. So you know, it was real interesting. As a matter of fact, we got a real good turnout rate. As a matter of fact, the host that I had doing it, a lot of people wanted to use her for their show. We had a lot of people asking them to do their show. So she has been on other shows doing other stuff. So, you know, it's a lot of people. Like I said, everything is a crossroad. So, you know, she did a show and then she's doing other shows now. You know, we never knew it was going to turn out this way. So,
Now, Tony, it's good to have a show here. I believe it's very good. But how do you get the message out? How do you advertise? How do you let people know you have a show there? I know the church would probably be one place, your mother's church.
well, currently the BCAT facilities here, they helped me to build up a little website. So I have a little website on there, and I'm currently making my own website. Should be up by June.
So,
What's on your website here?
Oh, well, the name of the show, the idea of the show, and what I have, and you know what we're trying to portray, and that's what it's all about. What we're trying to portray and the images that we're trying to send to the folks.
so if someone at home wanted to check your website,
All they would have to do is write brooklynx.org,
say it again, please. Slowly.
brooklynx.org, right, and go to I believe it's BCAT from the second lane to the left, and you go to producers info, and then under that you look at producers corner, and you're going to see a list of shows that they have on there. And mine is Crossroads, and you'll see my name, Antonio Bascom, on there, and all like what I got to say about my show. And you know, I give a little expert about, they say justice is blind, but I think she peaks sometimes. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. So, like I said in my excerpt, we try to permeate positive energy, and that's all we about, positive energy. And I'm going out there and try to help all the people that we can possibly help.
Now, you folks have, you've met each other besides this show. You've interacted.
Well, our roads crossed at the start of our affiliation with BCAT.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So tell us, you can tell the viewing audience, tell Orville how that happened. How did you come to BCAT?
Well, okay, it's real interesting. You know, I came out the service, and you know, they needed a camera.
You said the service, excuse me.
The Army. I was in the Army,
okay,
right, for 7 years. I just came out in March of 2000.
Okay.
And this is purely accidental, actually. I really didn't know this was going to happen. So they said, take a class on this camera stuff, and maybe you can do shows. So that wasn't my optical goal. I said, well, I'll take the class maybe for the experience or whatever. It might help me on a resume. That was my whole idea. And when I got here, I started taking a class, and I met Stella.
That's where we met.
We started talking, and she's doing this show, we doing that show. You know, and like they said, so many people come here and they take a class and they actually never did a show. So what happened was she went on to do her show, and I was taking classes here left and right trying to learn what's going on. And so she encouraged me to get my show out. And you know, it's people like Stella who, like I said, the Crossroads, that I told you, she gave me the drive and thing to put out my first show, because she was like in December, come on, you got to do it, Tony, you got a lot to say, you got to do it.
So how many shows have you put out? And how is it? Like she said, it's a weekly, but I forgot, what is it, a monthly?
It's a monthly, right.
And how long has it been on?
We've been working with this for the past 2 months now.
Now, I've gotten to know Tony because we started off in the same class together, and I found out about some special talents that he has.
That Tony Bascom has?
Yeah, Tony Bascom. He's an artist.
He's an artist. Well, I did see him doodling. We had a class together.
And he does more than doodle.
This is a BCAT family. Yeah.
Yes, and he is also a boxer. I found that out lately. You're holding out on me, Tony.
Oh, well.
So first, let's talk about your artwork.
Well, okay, I currently was living in Maryland, and I had the thing of doing a logo for a church. And I did a logo for a record label for my friend. And you know, I've currently had the goal of using my using my artwork to help people. And on the boxing thing, that really I don't advertise too much, because
Why?
But you do box a little.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, I do it to keep in shape, you know.
So do you get in the ring and do you?
Yeah,
you know,
I get it. Yeah.
You have a lot of heart. Anyone that gets in the ring has a lot of
I
heart.
hope they don't see this. They might be hitting me harder now.
Have you done any professional boxing?
No. Just
The man is a humble man with his boxing. So that's good.
Okay.
You use it to keep yourself fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to do a little something, but I want to get there first before I, you know. Yeah.
Okay. So would you please tell us when the show appears? Is there a particular time it appears? Do you know yet? Is it?
Well, as you know, specials is they give you a slot and they put you in there. That's why
So people just have to keep their eye out for the show.
Yes, my show should come on Saturday, though. All right.
And it's going monthly next
month.
Next month.
We going monthly.
Okay.
So we go on full stride after this.
Well, you know, Tony Bascom, I must say to you that what you're doing moves me. I love the guests that you've had that I've seen, and I really thank you and commend you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here with y'all. You know, it's like I said, we took classes together. I met all you people through here, so thank you very much, and I appreciate it, and God bless.
All right. Producer's Profile, Orville Nelson, and
Stella Winston.
thank you so much for watching. Now, I'm curious about
I just want the time is a vote.
Is there another question you wanted?
No, I just wanted to make sure.